This is going to be a quick video explaining why I stand in solidarity with the protesters across the US fighting for justice right now, and why you should too. There are no ads on this video because it should not be monetized, and the comment section is disabled because this is not up for discussion.
Yeah, you know Riley. We've done her before. This video that she did is a perfect example of how someone can hide a lie and a political agenda inside the truth, using justifiable outrage to promote unjustifiable racism and separatism. This is the video she made about the George Floyd tragedy.
While all 4 officers were fired the day after, the police officer who murdered Floyd wasn't charged with murder until days later following public backlash.
Days later is actually pretty good. Normally, investigators and prosecutors take weeks to charge someone with a crime. Of course, the video helped, but can we please stop pretending that this was some sort of unreasonable delay?
On March 13th, 3 police officers raided Breonna Taylor's house in the middle of the night and shot her 8 times, killing her in her own home. Though they're still under investigation, none of the officers have had any charges brought against them yet. These are just 2 of the most recent events in a long history of police murdering innocent black people and facing minimal or zero consequences.
This is what gets me about people like Riley. If you know the names George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and Eric Garner, but you don't know the names of Kelly Thomas, Daniel Shaver, and Duncan Lemp, you're part of the problem. Because police do this to white people too and get away scot-free. I have no idea what the agenda is here behind the separatism, but it shouldn't be there. And before you say, "Eee, this happens more often with black people," first of all, no, it doesn't. And second, this isn't a freaking contest. People are dying. What's wrong with you? The lack of police accountability is something that affects all of us, and it should unite us. That's really my biggest problem with Black Lives Matter. How is what they're doing not separatism and segregation?
While these protests are happening, it is important to keep this in mind. Human life matters more than property.
And here we go. Property is an extension of human life. You own yourself and the products of your labor and the trades that you make. Property derives from self-ownership. Unjustly deprive someone of property and you make them your slave.
If a Target or a Walmart is looted or vandalized, they will be fine. They will rebuild, they have insurance.
Just how do you think insurance works, you dunderhead? Insurance gets the money to pay the damages through premiums. They have to make those costs back by increasing premiums. That means that Target, Walmart, and all of the other businesses that purchase that insurance will see their premiums go up. When that happens, they'll have to pass on those costs to the consumer. That means people paying higher prices. That means fewer sales. That means jobs lost and the creation of jobs stifled. The riots are causing real harm to real people. But Riley doesn't care as long as she gets to push her psychopathic socialism.
And in many cases, these protests are peaceful until police show up in military gear and start attacking protesters.
That's true, and the militarization of police is a big problem, but not only are many of these riots not started that way, the ones that are started by the protesters are still being defended by people like you and Black Lives Matter. I mean, what was the point of your insurance argument if not that?
The police response to these protests has only further proven that the police need to be defunded and disarmed.
Yeah, but somehow I doubt you'll be behind private police forces who have been shown time and time again not to do stuff like that. Because then people don't pay for them. Who on earth would willingly pay police to do this crap? For that matter, who on earth would pay them to raid their own house and shoot their dog because they had a few ounces of a plant? Also, to really make a dent in the budget, you'd have to stop civil asset forfeiture. Why isn't that a complaint of you and Black Lives Matter, huh? Because that's how they can afford all this military-style crap? And I have a funny feeling you're not going to be in favor of removing the crazy gun control laws that are preventing citizens from arming themselves for their own protection. A policy straight out of eugenics that has disarmed most predominantly black communities in this country and made them vulnerable to this kind of crap to begin with.
If you're white, like me, it is your duty now to talk to the white people in your life about what is happening. Talk to your parents, your relatives, your coworkers, your friends. Tell them about what is happening and why they need to support these protests. Now is not the time to be silent and avoid awkward conversations. Use your privilege to help the cause.
White privilege didn't help Kelly Thomas. It didn't help Daniel Shaver. It didn't help Duncan Lamp or Daniel Harris or Andrew Thomas or Dylan Noble or Robert Saylor.
Convince the people in your life that Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, Black Lives Matter. Except for David Dorn or Italia Marie Kelly or Dave Underwood or Chris Beatty or David McAtee, black people who were killed by violent protesters. How come none of you ever mentioned them? All lives matter, Riley. George Floyd's life mattered, and so did Daniel Shaver's. Eric Garner's life mattered, and so did Kelly Thomas's. Breonna Taylor's and Alton Sterling's and Philando Castle's lives mattered, and so did Mary Hawks's and Michael Parker's and Lauren Simpson's. And tell me something. How come I am apparently the racist for saying all of this and not the genuinely racist and separatist Riley Dennis and Black Lives Matter? Could it be that the progressives never really shook off their eugenicist roots and all this is just a ploy to keep it going? Hey, thanks for watching. Please hit like and subscribe and keep these videos coming by donating, becoming a subscriber and getting special benefits, or even for free with airtime. And check out all the great content here, like this video selected just for you.